One. Guys, if you can move over this side, please, so there's more place for everybody. Thank you.
Chris. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Gil Prus. I'm the CEO of the Jewish Federation of Greater Washington, and it is my privilege to welcome you all to the opening gathering of the NOVA exhibit in Washington, D.C. As you probably all know by now, there's probably no exhibit more important for people to see today and in the coming weeks, particularly given what happened last night and will be occurring over the next several days and weeks. The history that we saw downstairs and up here is not one of the past. It is one that continues to define the Jewish people, the Jewish community, and Israel in very deep ways. I'd like to thank all of the sponsors, both locally and nationally, who helped make this happen. As you all know, this is vital for the message to go out. What it does is it gives people a chance to not just live and remember what happened almost 19 months ago now, but really the message of today that the threats, the attacks that occurred on October 7th reverberate throughout our community. And even though we will not let that determine and define who we are, and the NOVA exhibit is very much about resiliency and recovery and regrowth and renewal, we cannot forget what happened on those days. And so with that, I encourage you all to not just be here today, but when you leave, to reach out to your friends and colleagues and invite them to come with you, to bring them to this exhibit. Because at the end of the day, this is not just about us seeing it and being here. It's about your networks of people who otherwise might not come. They need to be here, and they need to bring their networks, and they need to bring their friends. And in that way, we'll be able to change the discourse of what is going on and what needs to happen going forward. So with that, I do want to note one thing, that we do expect Steve Witkoff to join later, and he is coming. The Israeli ambassador, who was slated to come, sends his apology that he's otherwise busy today. But it is my honor to invite Noah Argamani up here to the stage to share her story with us today.
Hello, everyone. My name is Noah Argamani. Up until a year ago, I had never set foot in Washington, D.C. And now, I'm advocate for all the hostages. Since my rescue from captivity by the brave IDF soldier, I dedicate my life to bring my partner, Avinatan Or, and all the hostages back home. I had meeting in the White House, Congress, speaking in the UN, tons of events around the US, and I met so many people. I can see here today so many familiar faces of people who stood with us since day one. Thank you for hosting me for so many places. Now let me host you in my home. The NOVA community is my home. We share the same values, the same perspective of peace, love, and kindness. On October 7, I was taken hostage by Hamas terrorists. I was in the Nova Music Festival with my partner, Avinatan Or. At 6:30 in the morning, when the rocket started, we thought this is just another drone from Gaza. But after a while, we realized this is different. We tried to escape to our car, but terrorists started shooting on us no matter when we returned. We tried to get away, but then our car got stuck and we had to hide in ours until we were discovered by a group of terrorists. That was the last time that I saw my partner. The last time I saw my love was 660 days ago. In captivity, I asked about Avinatan everywhere I went. I lived in a fear every single day. I didn't want the guarders to suddenly lose control and kill me. All the terrorists was armed with 20 weapons, knife, and grenades. One mistake and the entire situation can turn upside down. I watched my friends getting released while I stayed behind. I wasn't a part of any category that could be released, and I stayed behind with the men. But after a few months, 2 of my friends was murdered while I survived. Yossi Sharabi and Itai Svirsky were by my side every day, and then I lost them. Their memory be a blessing. After 5 months, I had to be alone with the terrorists until the day that I was rescued. Being here today with you is nothing short of a miracle. It's been a year since I was rescued. A year was past. A year has passed, yet nothing was truly changed. We're still in a war. We still have hostages trying to survive. Each day, each meaning, living hell. Hostages are starving, holding heroic condition without any water. I'm not the same person I had a year ago. I learned that I have to be strong, not only for myself, but also for the others, for those who lost something close, for the families of the hostages, and for the hostages themselves. I'm not the same person I was a year ago. I choose to fight, but in my term. I listen to inner voice. I make my decision with care. I find myself in places I never dreamed I'd be. I met people I never imagined I would meet. I had the privilege to see many hostages return home into the arms of their loved ones. I broke down, I rose again, tons of time. And still, it's not over. My partner Avinatan is still in Hamas captivity, and I miss him. I miss him more every passing day. I worry, but I have to be strong for both of us. I hold into hope every single day that this nightmare will end and we will finally get to live the life that we dream of. This nightmare will only end when all 53 hostages will come home. I ask you all, do not let us lose hope. Be strong with us. We will dance again. Make sure that the world understands what happened in October 7 and what the hostages are still going through. Help us bring all the hostages home now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Noah. And thank you, everyone, for being here. My name is Ophir Amir. I'm one of the co-founders of the Nova Festival and also co-producers of the Nova exhibit and The Survivor. On October 7th, we came together to dance and celebrate life. As the attack began, I stayed behind with my fellow Nova Festival producers to help others escape death. Hundreds of armed Hamas terrorists stormed the area and fired bullets everywhere, and we found ourselves running for our lives. 7 of us jumped into a car. A 6th terrorist viciously opened fire. I was shot in both legs. We stopped the car and hid in the field, and moments later, I watched my friend lying beside me, taking his last breath. I couldn't move, lying still and playing dead. I was bleeding and praying for my life, and all I could think about was my wife, Lior. She was 9 months pregnant and waiting for me to come home. For the next 3 hours, she kept me alive, talking to me over the phone while I hid from her the severity of my wounds. I didn't want her to worry in her condition. It is truly a miracle that I'm here today. Just 1 hour separated me from life and death. We were rescued after 4 hours hiding in the field. I was taken to the hospital where I was finally reunited with my wife. I went through a long period of rehabilitation to get back on my feet while carrying a lifelong emotional injury. Yet, I was and still am grateful for surviving and returning home. I was fortunate to witness my baby girl, Eliana, born exactly 4 weeks after October 7th. Leon and Eliana are my biggest light. I got my life back, but forever I will carry the memory of the friends I lost and the many beautiful souls we lost that day, our tribe of angels. There are so many inconceivable stories like mine, and sadly, there are so many we will never hear. Stories that will never be told. October 7th completely changed my life. And over a period of 10 years, the people who came to attend Nova music festivals formed a community. Faces became familiar. These people became our friends and then our family. October 7th has been a personal tragedy for each one of us, but has also been devastating to our entire Nova community. Those of us who were there understand that we went through something that will connect us all forever. And within that first day, we knew we need to come together and support each other. So we opened a healing center for the next 2 months, a place for the survivors and the families to come and heal together, to feel safe and feel the love of the community. For me, this was also the first place I had the courage to go to and feel normal again. The Tribe of Nova Foundation was born out of the experience that we shared, our mutual values and our sensitivity to one another. Ever since, my attention and focus have been entirely to the survivors and foundation. And through helping others, I found that I've also been healing and helping myself. Tribe of Nova's program have helped me cope with my trauma and have demonstrated how we all benefit when we give ourselves to others. While running the healing center and opened the foundation, Omri Sassi, my friend and one of the co-founders who also saved my life, urges us to do something to remember our friends that have been murdered and show the whole world what happened to us. We created the exhibition in Tel Aviv, inspired by the need to honor the memory of our friends and family. And after we opened, we immediately understood what an impact this is making on everyone that sees it. It's not only for the memorial. It's such a strong tool to show the world what happened to us. There's so much hate and so much denial on social media and everywhere around us. And with this exhibition, we will do everything in our power to tell our story, to educate, to fight against hate, and to bring our allies together again. The journey of the exhibition to New York, Los Angeles, Miami, Toronto could not have been possible without incredible people who started out as friends and have become my brothers. Scooter Brown, Joe Teplo, Josh Caden, and my Canadian brother, Jesse Brown. Yeah, please clap for them. Please, yeah. Thank you for helping shine a light on this epic saga and for believing in the power of the story. I can't tell you all how important it is for me to stand before you now, on behalf of all the survivors, families of the victims, and the entire Nova community. I want to take a last moment to deeply thank Gil Preuss and the Jewish Federation of Greater Washington for their devotion to the tribe of Nova and helping us open the exhibit here in Washington. I also want to thank our entire Israeli and production team. Without you, we won't be here today. And what happened on October 7 was the darkest memory in our history since the Holocaust. But we will not let it define us. Through the exhibition, the foundation, and each one of you, we will continue to heal, rebuild, and honor those we lost. Thank you all. You bring us hope. And I promise you all, we will dance again. Thank you. And now I'm honored to call my friend Scooter. I won't say it, Joe. I won't say it.
I just want to welcome everyone here and say how grateful we are that you're joining us. And I know that so many of you here plan on bringing so many of your friends and family and anyone you're in conversation with to this exhibit and using it as we have around the country as a tool to tell the truth, to tell the story. I just want to acknowledge some people that are in the room. Obviously, you saw Noah, Juan, who's here, Elia, who's here, Yair. I think you're in the back over there, and Noah, there you are. These are all hostages who are home with us, and I think before I say anything, please give them a round of applause for their bravery for being here. You know, I was born here in the United States. I was born in New York City. I'm first generation born here, and I have a tremendous amount of pride in being American. My grandparents were Holocaust survivors. My grandmother went to Auschwitz, and my grandfather in Dachau. My father is a refugee from Hungary who sought asylum in this country. And something that is intrinsically American is speaking up for those who need to be spoken for. Something that's intrinsically American is speaking up when things are hard. And when Joe Teplo and I went to Israel in December after October 7th, we wanted to see the truth for ourselves, not because we needed to know, but because we knew we wanted to have the conversation from a place of honesty and conviction. And when we arrived, we were first brought to Be'eri, to the kibbutz, and we saw things that no human being should ever see. The blood was still fresh. We heard stories that were unimaginable, especially for me, a father of 3 young children. And then we were brought to the Nova Healing Camp, where I got to meet some incredible young people. And that was the first time during the trip that I found myself incredibly angry. Because I worked in the music industry for a very long time. I was a manager for 23 years. I've owned a label. Worked with the biggest stars in the world, and I've also had the unfortunate experience of being part of a concert I hope I never had to be a part of, which was One Love Manchester, which was a response to terrorism in Manchester at a bombing at our show with Ariana Grande, where 22 people lost their lives. And no one asked if the young man who killed himself while waiting for families and young children was a freedom fighter. They just said, violence at a music concert is wrong. Violence and terrorism, taking the lives of innocent people, are wrong. So I want to repeat that 3 of those people I just spoke about, who are sitting in front of me, who were hostages, were civilians celebrating at a music festival. These were not soldiers. They were not in combat. They were there dancing with their friends. When you come to this exhibit, I hope that you see Coachella. I hope that you see Stagecoach. I hope that you see concerts that you've gone to. You won't see anything political here. You'll see kids dancing and being joyful, and then you'll see real evidence of what took place. And I don't want you to see the conflict. I don't want you to see the Middle East. I want you to see your brother. I want you to see your sister. I want you to see your friends. I get emotional as I look out. I see a friend from Los Angeles who raised her daughters in Los Angeles. And as a parent, she lost both of her girls that day. And the strength that I've seen from her and her family of showing up at the Nova exhibit every single day to tell the story of her girls who are there to dance and to love life. And then to still be here and show up in Washington, D.C. to tell that story again because she wants peace, because she wants a better world. I introduced her husband. I wasn't planning on telling that story, but I introduced her husband to a friend of mine, Ahmed, who's a Palestinian from Gaza who's lost 31 members of his family since October 7th. And when I turned around, her husband, who had just lost his girls, was embracing Ahmed and crying together. And I just want to say to so many of my fellow Americans who are here, we see ourselves screaming at each other in the streets. We see ourselves so divided, but if these two families can hug in the Nova exhibit, when they are actually affected by the conflict, we can start setting a better example. It starts with us. And I really hope that this exhibit gives you an opportunity to have those conversations, to use them as an example. And I'll leave you with this idea of when I started with Manchester. The whole world rallied within 2 weeks to do this concert, One Love Manchester. The whole world, the biggest artists in the world. And in the last over a year now, it's been so much silence. And I want to encourage everyone here, something that I've learned, lean into the silence. Do what these kids do. It's not never forget, the way I was raised with the Holocaust. It's we will dance again. They don't talk about what they're not going to do. They talk about what they're going to do. And that is what you should come here and take from this exhibit. It's an opportunity to reach out to someone and speak about who you are, who we are, and who they are. And don't stop speaking until their friends come home, their partners come home, their sister comes home, their brother comes home. It's not about the noise and the anger. It's about humanity. And I just can tell you how grateful I am that you're all here to join us in this moment and be here, because if they can be here, this is the least we can do. So thank you very much. Josh? Here? You want to explain?
Oh, yeah. Given the fluidity of the ongoing situation, we just got word that Mr. Witkoff will not be able to join us. But thank you so much for joining us today.
I want to add one more thing. There are people in the United States who've made a difference for our entire world, and I just want to acknowledge someone in the room who showed up because it sends a very big message to everyone. Michael Milken is here, and I just want to acknowledge you and say thank you for coming. So once again, like Josh said, with the situation, people have to do their jobs, but I will say with the biggest names in the world, what we've learned by doing this exhibit in multiple cities, it starts with one individual and asking them to bring another individual. So all of you are just as important as anyone in the world, and we ask you to bring your friends and continue telling their story. Thanks.